Hello, welcome back to Just Opinion Media Review. And today's manga book is Saki the Succubus Hungers Tonight. Now, this is a not safe for work book, as I like to read. It's five. I think it's 5 volumes. I looked just to make sure that there was none coming out. I haven't seen any, so as of right now, there's only 5. Basically, the premise of the 5 books is, I believe the first book is our protagonist. He meets Saki, and she's a 20-year-old succubus that hasn't fed on anybody. And if you know what succubus means, it means I think they hunger on lust or whatever, something like that. I could be completely. I'm not a succubus expert. I've I've seen at least 5 different ways succubus their kind of characters are designed to work. So she sees our male protagonist, and she's like, I'm gonna hunger on him, and she can't control her pheromones or something like that. So she ends up passing out, and the guy's like, oh my god, somebody call an ambulance. He's like, well, I probably should take her back to my house just to make sure. It's like, what? So he brings her back, and then we find out that she's never fed on anybody before, and her sister comes and is like, "Hey, I found you," and Saki's like, "Well, how'd you find me?" He's like, "Oh, I think I put a tracker in your underwear or something, or in your clothes or something," and so the sister's like, "Hey, we're kind of a big deal in our world, so here's some money. Can you just watch Saki? Just make sure that she doesn't hurt anybody, because she's going to school, but she can't go to school because she can't control her powers. So they leave Saki at our male protagonist's house. I'm not good with Japanese names, as you've probably seen from other videos, so I just do generic. I can say Saki. That one's pretty easy. And so that ends that book. Next book is now the boss of the male protagonist is like, whoa, you got a smell to you. And it's like, oh, by the way, I am a succubus as well, but now I'm jealous that you're with this girl. So then they kind of fight, and so that ends that book. Saki and the boss fight. Don't remember what happens in the 3rd book. The 4th book is about erectile dysfunction. So now that our protagonist has now been with 2 succubus, he's like, oh, I don't know which one I like, because he's 35 years old, but he looks like on the artwork he looks like he's in his 20s as well with Saki. He's like, oh, I don't think this 20-year-old girl would want an old man like me. And there's a couple references where people are like, oh, that girl's with that old guy. And so now he's got erectile dysfunction where he's like, hey, I can't get it up. I can't do it. And so then the sister of Saki is like, hey, how about you have sex? Oh, and by the way, our male protagonist is a virgin. How about you have sex with me, so you know what a woman is like or wants, and so that'll help you. So he ends up having sex. He loses his virginity to his sister. Don't worry, Saki's fine with it. And so that ends that arc. Then he's like, oh, I think I know what I want. And so then the final book is about marriage. And so Saki, the boss, she also has a male counterpart that she uses. I don't think she has sex with him. When he comes in, he's probably the most annoying. They deliberately made you want to hate this character. He looks like, I don't know how old he is. I don't think they ever stated how old he is, but in the artwork he looks like he's at least 15 or 16. I don't know. but you know he's got like a like no, this is my girlfriend type. That's how I picture when he's talking the whole time. It's like, this is my girlfriend. Don't you know, you old man. You know basically stuff like that. So she's kind of almost like I kind of like you, male protagonist, but I also want to respect Saki, you know, because I think Saki and you are meant to be. So we, you know, the male protagonist finally goes, you know what, I do like you, Saki. And so then they get married, or at least 5 years later they come back, and we see that now the male protagonist is like 8. Now he looks like he's in his 40s. And so they have a daughter together, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, she's a succubus. And he's like, male protagonist is like, and that's kind of how it ends. This book was, or these 5 books were not a struggle to get through, but there's really nothing that happens. I mean, they probably could have made the 2 books and just left it at that, because there's like, I think volume 1 or 2 like basically ended. Like there was a scene that was happening and it ended, and then the next volume picked up exactly where it left off. And I'm new to the manga world. You know, this is like my second series that I've read. So to me, that's kind of like annoying, where it's like, especially if you look at some of these release dates, where it's like, you know, I just bought a book, just one series I'm reading. I bought a book back in like maybe around the beginning of 2022, and the next book doesn't come out until like, you know, mid 2023. So it's like, well, shit, if I'm reading this book and if it stops, you know, at this point, you know, that's gonna be a long ass wait. Especially with this series, it doesn't go, oh hey, this is what happened in the last book. So if you haven't read anything, and I don't know if manga books do that. Like I said, I'm new to the thing. So I'd give this probably a 2 out of 5 stars. Like I said, it's a very the books are, which is nice. The books are short, and you could probably get through it within a day just reading all 5 books. It's just, for me, it was kind of like, well, crap. I did 1 book. It's like, do I really want to read the next book? And so when I got to when I read the first 4 close to each other, and I think it was probably about a week before I read the 5th one. I was like, oh, you know, if you're looking for not safe for work content, I mean, this is pretty good. I do like the art for the penis, where they make him like a square and he's got like a face on him. So so I did get kind of enjoy out of that. Otherwise, it's just, I think it's mainly just 2 protagonists, or you know, it's mainly the boss and Saki, and then throw in the sister. That's about the 3 that are usually naked. You definitely see the nipples. You don't really see like the down below area, the vaginal area. So if that's something you're looking for, sorry, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next week should be a safe for work. It's gonna be, I think, a review on a product, not a manga art. But all right, you guys have a good one.